So hi everyone, and welcome to today's Orchestrator meeting. Looking at the agenda, we have a few topics. We have the CFP for the Cephalocon, open till December, I think it's December 10th. Please correct me. So please submit talks to the Cephalocon if you think you want to give one. Other than that, that's mainly a stand-up by this time here, without Ceph and without Sage. Anyway, what else? We are going to be able to...
A question, Sebastian, sorry.
Yes.
It's about the proposal. Well, I think is the team is going to do something about Ceph EDM, something more official about, for example, you presenting something of the things that we have done until this moment.
Right now, I encourage really everyone to make a proposal for a talk. Regarding Ceph EDM, there is so much to talk about, you know. Basically, every page in the Ceph EDM documentation is worth a dedicated talk.
Yeah.
Even an introduction that just mentions the different services that are there already takes about 45 minutes. So there is so much material to give talks about in Ceph EDM. It shouldn't really be a problem to get something in.
Yes, that's not the question. The question is more about if in the Falcon is going to be some kind of fixed sessions or I don't know how to call it, mandatory sessions or important sessions, okay? Because I think that is about Ceph, okay? So maybe they is need to have some kind of special sessions to talk about each of the big areas of development in Ceph, not only Ceph EDM, also, for example, Rook, also, for example, the system, this kind of things. I don't know if the CLT wants to to do some kind of special sessions for the big items, okay?
I would pass it over to the Cephalocon organizers. Let me take it as an action item for the DLT meeting tomorrow. Okay?
Okay. It's just an idea.
But yes, definitely there should be some kind of a how are they called? Keynotes.
Yes. It's, I think that is the red one, keynotes. Okay, maybe a keynote for every of the standard components would be nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will pass it on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Pause. We are upstream. Ceph is going to be able to test Ceph ADM on a large-scale cluster at the Pause Supercomputing Center in Perth, Australia, which is tremendously awesome. There is some planning going on and some preparation. Like for example, who is going to be able to have access to the cluster, plans on how to make sure that we know things are properly working, and when things are going to fail. Preparations like Sage is looking into the big suite, Tautology suite. That's a cluster of 67 hosts in Tautology, which is super big, and made a pull request to fix it and convert it to Ceph ADM. And the idea is to find scalability issues before we are heading over towards Pause. I created another pull request that is supposed to create OSDs on all hosts at once on here, even though it seems to not work properly at this point. And there is a document, a Google Doc for organizing things. Any thoughts? Especially thoughts on how can we improve organization? How can we improve? How can we make sure that we are properly we are successfully using the time? What I really want to avoid is having us I don't know 1.5 weeks just for deploying the cluster because we are just fixing one issue after another, and then the time is more or less wasted. So what we really should make sure is that we are properly making use of the time, and for that I think it's important to prepare it. What should we think of before we start working on the POSI cluster? Ideas, thoughts?
We already brought in like Vic Yat and Kyle Bader and those people.
Big Yat,
They
yeah.
agreed to. Those people are gonna know how to handle the big deployment stuff the best probably. And other than that, I was wondering if we're going to be doing this in a bunch of different time zones and like people are gonna be working at different times, if we should have some way to like hand off information between the people as they're like going off the clock and on the clock and things.
Do we need a dedicated communication channel?
Like a temporary one? You just want like a file or something.
Or can we just make use of the Ceph Orchestrator's channel on IRC?
As long as people stay logged in, there's someone problem with IRC. If you don't log in, you miss the messages.
And this is a problem with IRC. A lot of people don't have IRC bouncers. I know that Paul hasn't an IRC bouncer. Melissa, I think you also don't have an IRC bouncer.
What's an IRC bouncer?
Exactly. Exactly
that.
that.
Uses the same thing me and Adam use.
The IRC protocol is it's ancient. It's from the 1980s, and back then there was no concept of you actually want to see messages that were written while you were disconnected. So the IRC protocol is pretty raw, but just pushing messages that are written in that specific moment. Any other messaging service, like Matrix, Jitter, anyone, any alternative to IRC properly handles messages that are written while you're away, while you're disconnected, except for IRC. So for IRC, you need to install or run a bouncer somewhere, which makes it pretty awkward to use. So either we are using IRC with a bouncer, or we find a different protocol. Any thoughts?
I don't know what else exists for upstream.
There is nothing. You can access the IRC channels using Matrix. Matrix. Matrix? Matrix? How is it pronounced? Matrix.org.
Matrix?
Matrix. Matrix.org. That would be something for you, Melissa.
One question, Sebastian. I haven't seen the document anything about other groups, about what they want to do.
No response. I've asked him, no
No
response.
response. Okay, just to know if they are going to use the same cluster that is going to be installed or is going to be left after the test of the Ceph ADM group.
That's a plan, yes.
Okay.
I mean, creating all those OSDs is taking a while, and if we are creating too many clusters, then we are just wasting time. So, in the idea of being as efficient as possible, we should probably reuse the existing cluster that was deployed. Maybe cleaning it up, maybe deleting pools. So, which means that we should actually look into making use of those NVMEs already from the beginning when setting up the cluster.
Okay.
If we are able to finish testing after, I don't know, 1 week or so, I am pretty sure other components will take the opportunity to jump on that cluster if they want to, and if they can. So I'm not too concerned by this point, actually.
Okay.
Sebastian, you said you reached out to different teams for testing. I'm from the Cephs team. I can let them know if they've looked into this.
Actually, Patrick looked into CephFS already, so CephFS was the only component that actually responded.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I saw a topic, MDS load balancing, so I guess he's looking.
Right, that was added by Patrick. Other components will take that opportunity as well, as soon as we are kind of successful deploying a cluster with Ceph ADM. I have no doubt about it. What else? Regarding pausing.
Are there more details out yet on how the accessing the cluster is going to work? That's still.
You're just going to jump on a jump host, SSH to a jump host, and from the jump host, you're going to be able to access all the different hosts in the cluster.
I saw that document with the pub keys. I'm guessing they're going to put those on the hosts.
Yes. Exactly. The great thing about pub keys is that they are public, so you can actually download them from GitHub already, so shouldn't be a problem. Adam, could you make sure that the big suite, that the pull request from Sage about enabling the big suite, big tautology suite, actually make use of the agent?
Yeah, I can look at that progress. I haven't looked at any of it yet.
Yeah.
I'm guessing because it's off by default, it wouldn't get tested unless he is making use of those that use agents options.
Yeah, I think it probably makes sense to first merge a pull request from Sage.
Okay,
And then
we could do that first.
And then enable the agent. in a subsequent PR, I guess. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else regarding Posy? Okay, perfect. We had that long-running problem with D group errors, and I think I've mentioned it already in the past meetings, where yeah, seems to be that switching from run C to C run improves things in the upstream virtuality testing. So there is a difference between run C and C run, where run C is written in Go and C run is written in C. And it seems to be that C run better works together with D groups V2. So we might want to switch to C group from run C to C run. Problem is that we have to maybe also mention this switch to users. So I hope you're going to have documentation PR how to set up C run instead of run C for the future.
Is the first step to have some like PR to like change the topology to do that?
Yeah, there is a pull request open by Sage. 43934. That's installing crun somehow. Yeah, it changes the runtime in the containers conf. Run C to crun. And that seems to be working.
That's the first time I've seen a fully green run in a while.
Yes. Isn't that awesome?
Pretty nice
Isn't
for
that
those ones.
awesome? Yeah. Looking forward to have green runs again. Okay. That's all I got for today. Anyone else has topics? Topics. No topics. Okay, very well. Then let's look up next week on Tuesday for the next Orchestrator Weekly. Bye, everyone.